my name is Jesse Bucholz. Welcome to my presentation on the web tool Bucholz. Bucholz is a free tech tool that promotes engagement in the classroom. There are also options to upgrade your account for features such as being able to duplicate sets of questions. According to their website, Bucholz provides a game-based learning tool that can be played through most web browsers. Bucholz is an exciting new take on trivia and review games. Bucholz creates an engaged learning environment that motivates students. This web tool is very similar to the popular Kahoot. In this presentation, we'll be first going through how Bucholz supports learning through the implementation of it. Next, we'll be discussing the legal and ethical use of Bucholz while touching on its use of personal information. Then we will go over what you'll need to access this web tool as well as talk through the technical requirements such as the equipment you'll need. Furthermore, we will dive into the actual website of Bucholz, how to use it, and go through its different features. And finally, we will analyze an example of Bucholz and discuss the in-depth results it provides to better understand where our students' mastery levels are at. Before we start, let's take a look at Bucholz's mission statement. At Bucholz, we are striving to change the way students learn. While reading and studying an oversized textbook is certainly one option, we like to opt for a far more fun alternative. However, Bucholz isn't just fun, it is also incredibly effective. So first, let's discuss how Bucholz supports student learning. Bucholz supports student learning through the overall engagement and motivation level of students by implementing material through the use of a variety of game modes that allow teachers to reinforce key concepts. Gaming and gamification are becoming widely used for instructional purposes and assessing students. According to the Smithsonian Science Education Center, gamification increases the level of engagement in the classroom activities as well as increases productivity. Another way Bucholz supports learning is through the use of both self-paced or competitive learning. Bucholz offers the opportunity to either perform a set of questions individually or as a group and who compete against each other to see who knows the material better while still practicing the key concepts. The web tool also has the ability to perform a set of questions as homework so that students get practice on the material individually and can work until they meet the goal the teacher sets, or they can continue working on that material if they so wish. Lastly, Bucholz supports students' learning by providing in-depth results for the session of Bucholz you assign or play. Not only does it provide a precise look at each student's individual score and results, but also categorizes results sorted by individual questions so that teachers can determine what concepts the students have mastered and what may need reteaching. Let's move on to discussing some of the legal and ethical backgrounds of this web tool. In accordance with the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, Bucholz will terminate users who are deemed to be repeat offenders of the copyrights of others. Bucholz may also, at its sole discretion, limit access to the services and/or update, transfer, suspend, or terminate the accounts of any users who infringe upon the intellectual property rights of others, whether or not there is any repeat infringement. Bucholz does follow all laws pertaining to COPPA, and if a participant is under the age of 13 years old, Bucholz assumes that the child has either received parental consent or school consent, which is giving permission on behalf of the parents. Bucholz collects only the minimal amount of personal information and data necessary to create accounts necessary for their service, and no student's profile is made available to the public or other students through Bucholz. Now that we've talked through some legal and ethical terms of the technology tool, we're now going to talk about the accessibility and technical requirements and features. On this slide, this is what Bucholz's user interface looks like. There are not many accessibility features currently available on the website. If students wish to play solo, they will need to be able to read and comprehend words and phrases. If students are playing with a group, the host can read aloud the questions and answers with their corresponding color. One accessibility feature Bucholz does have is that it is able to be used using a traditional keyboard and mouse or on a touchscreen such as a tablet or cellular device. There are three main technical procedures that you'll need to have if you'd like to implement this technology tool into your classroom. First, the most important technical feature you need to have is an internet connection, whether you plan on playing individually or with a group. After the most basic and important feature of having an internet connection, you'll need to have someone hosting the Bucholz using a projector or interactive whiteboard, unless you are planning on students playing individually. Hosting a Blooket and playing as a class is the most popular feature of this technology tool. Thus, by using either a projector or interactive whiteboard to present the game code for the class would be very beneficial. You can also host a game using a laptop or desktop computer, but that would be best for a small group of students. Lastly, students will need a personal device such as a Chromebook, iPad, or laptop. For upper grades, such as high school students, cell phones also work, but I would only use those for emergency purposes. Now let's get into the exciting part, how to use Blooket. I'm going to show you how to log in or sign up, how to play, the Discover tab where you can find Blookets others have made, and the Create option where you can create your own question set to use for your students. Once we are finished with this presentation, if you have any questions on how to use Blooket, scan the QR code on your handout or use the link to access my how to use Blooket video. I'm now at the home screen at Blooket.com. The home screen just discusses what Blooket is about, what their mission statement is, the positives Blooket can have on a classroom, and how Blooket works here at the bottom. Up at the top of the screen, we have Join Game, Log In, or Sign Up. If you need to sign up, you may do so by signing in with a Google account or another email address. Since I have an account already, I'm going to log in. Once you have logged into your account, will pop the Blooket dashboard. This is the Blooket dashboard. On the left-hand side, we have News, which just provides updates on things happening with Blooket. My Sets, which is where you will be able to find your own created sets once you make them. Favorites, where you will find different Blookets that you have favorited from the Discover page. Homework, where you will find results for homework Blookets that you assign. And History, where you will find past Blookets you have performed and hosted. On the top of our screen, you will find Play, which is where you will click to join the fun. Discover, which is where you'll find Blookets that are made from other users on the website. Dashboard, which is where you are at right now. And Create, which is where you can create your own Blooket by starting from scratch. The other ones to the right here are ones that you can explore yourself, as there are more extra features of the technology tool. Let's begin our exploration of the Discover page. This feature allows you to discover sets that were created by other Blooket users that have made that Blooket viewable to the public. There are tons of different Blookets available. If I were to type in multiplication facts, different question sets would pop up that include that search term that is sorted by the amount of plays it has gotten. To play a set, click on the one that you would like and click Host if you are hosting a game for your class, or click Solo if a student is doing the Blooket by themselves. If you do click on the Host button, you will be directed to the various game modes Blooket has developed. You will notice that some of the game modes can only be played as assigned homework. For example, Crazy Kingdom. So they will only be able to play these game modes, Tower of Doom, another one, for example, as assigned homework because they are only solo games. For an example, I will click Gold Quest. It gives me the option to set our game to an end in either time or a certain amount of gold, as well as other options that it allows settings down below here. Each game mode has different settings. Once you choose how your game will end, either via time or amount of something, it will bring you to the host screen where it shows the game ID along with which players have joined. To join a game, you go to blooket.com/play, or if you are back at the home page, go to Blooket. You can log in already. You can, if you're on the dashboard, you click play and type in the game ID that it pops up as. Or if you wish that, if you do not wish for your students to create an account, they simply can join a game by going to the Bucholz homepage at bucholz.com and clicking on the join a game button at the top. This is where they don't need an account for the service. Now time to create our own Bucholz. So going back to the dashboard here, I'm going to create. Before you begin entering your questions, you will be asked to give your Bucholz set a title. Choose a privacy setting and a creation method. If Quizlet is something that you implement in your own classroom, you can import sets from there to quickly create a Bucholz set, as well as importing a spreadsheet. Choosing a cover image and writing a description about your set is optional. So let's create an example. As an example, I'm going to create a Bucholz titled Multiplication Facts. Begin adding questions. So I'm going to make it public, and I'm going to start from scratch. I'm going to click Create Your Set. To begin adding questions, click Add Question. If you'd like to choose a cover image, Bucholz has a great image gallery powered by Unsplash. You can also import your own images if you'd like by uploading a file or uploading an image by URL. In the question text box, type your question. So being that it's multiplication facts, I'm going to go 2 times 2. In the answer boxes, type your one or multiple correct answers and provide any other options you would like. Select the correct answer or answers by clicking the checkbox next to that option. So I'm going to go 2 times 2 is 4, and I'm just going to give some other options. And I'm going to click the correct answer here, 4. If you decide that your students need some more time on a particular question, change the time limit to what you desire. Also, you can change what order the answers are in, whether it's the order that you entered them in, or it's a random one that the Bucholz decides on. Then click Save to save the question you created. Once you have finished adding the number of questions you would like, click Save Set. And this set can now be found under My Sets on our dashboard. To assign a set as homework, go to My Sets, find the Bucholz you would like to assign, and then click Host. Only some of the game modes can be used to assign as homework again. So look for the HW symbol once you click a game mode. Choose a game mode to assign. Set the due date and the goal number. So due date, changing the time. Notice how it updates the date, the hours. You can change the homework title and then the guess goal. So say you want them to do multiplication facts, 35 multiplication facts. Then click Assign Now. Then click the link to copy, for example, and then copy it into your learning management system. To view students' results on their homework, you're going to go back to your dashboard, go to homework, and then your results will pop up when kids have their own, or when they have performed the assignment. You can sort by question number or incorrect percentage. You can choose to extend the assignment period, refresh it if kids are doing it currently. You can also review results for Bucholz that you host. To do this, go back to the Bucholz dashboard, and on the left-hand side, choose History, and choose the Bucholz that you would like to review the results for. This Bucholz was done on addition facts. I can sort by question number, or incorrect percentage. So this allows us to see what problems students need help on. So for example, 8 plus 7 was giving some of my students a hard time. Today we had a chance to discuss how Bucholz supports student learning by promoting engagement and motivation and providing in-depth results. Next, we took a look at Bucholz privacy policy and terms of service regarding things like copyright and COPA and FERPA laws. Also, we discussed how it stores the minimal amount of data needed to use the service. In addition, we took a look at the accessibility and technical features of Bucholz, so things like using it across most devices that have an internet connection. And we talked about how students will need personal devices. And finally, we did a deep dive of how to use Bucholz and create a small example. Thank you for joining my presentation.